Hi, ArcfieldWeather.com meteorologist Paul Dorian here on Wednesday morning, February the 28th. A lot of activity across the nation. We still have a very powerful storm that's headed towards California for the end of the work week and into the early part of the weekend, the Friday, Saturday time frame. That storm system will bring copious amounts of snow to the higher elevations of eastern California. Let's say the Sierra Nevada mountains, they could get anywhere from 5 to 10 feet of snow from this upcoming storm system. We talked about how this will be a cold storm, which will lower the elevations required for the snow in California, Washington, Oregon as well, and that storm will spread snow to a lot of the Rocky Mountain states as well. Wanted to focus this morning, however, on the approaching strong cold front for the Mid-Atlantic region, the Northeast U.S. This powerful cold front caused quite a bit of activity yesterday across the upper part of the Midwest. We talked about the possibility of some severe weather. Indeed, there was severe weather around northern Illinois and around the Chicago area, maybe even some unconfirmed reports of tornadoes. Haven't seen anything definitive on that this morning, but there were certainly tornado warnings out last night out across the upper part of the Midwest. Specifically, I saw the northern part of Illinois in the Bullseye region. This is the latest radar map here. You certainly can see early this morning we see some heavy looking rain showers here out across the eastern part of the Ohio Valley into the western part of Pennsylvania. There certainly can be some embedded thunderstorms in this area right now. Some occasional showers already have reached the I-95 corridor region. It will be an unseasonably mild day, but this cold front will cause some wild weather conditions, primarily in the, let's say, 3 p.m. to 9 or 10 p.m. time frame in that I-95 corridor region of D.C., Philadelphia, New York City, and surrounding areas in the eastern part of the Mid-Atlantic region. Again, right now, pretty wild weather happening across the western Mid-Atlantic. Well, I thought we'd walk through some maps from the 0Z run of the GFS. Let's start off here with the 2-meter air temperature forecast. This is beginning the day here at 7 a.m. on Wednesday, February 28th. Already in the 50s across the suburban areas and the urban areas in the I-95 corridor region, quite a bit above normal for this time of the year. We'll just kind of quickly progress for the through the next 24 hours or so, probably peaking. Let's backtrack a little bit to 60 degrees or so in D.C. and Philadelphia, midday, early afternoon, but then some of that heavy rain starts to come in and cuts off the opportunity to get even higher than 60 degrees, it looks like. But look at the influx of cold air in the next 24 hours. This is all the way out to late tonight and then early tomorrow morning. So where we have some 60-degree temperatures midday, early afternoon, it'll be closer to 30 degrees by tomorrow morning, and in the upper 20s in the suburbs of Philadelphia and certainly New York City as well. So quite a dramatic drop off in temperatures following that frontal passage early this evening in the I-95 corridor region. Here we can see certainly some areas will experience 30-degree drop-off in temperatures from the highs of today to the lows of tomorrow morning. We'll go out a little bit farther in time. It stays cold on Thursday for much colder than today. Highs closer to 40 degrees as compared with 60 degrees in much of that same I-95 corridor region. But then we go out a little bit farther in time, and yes, there's a cold start to the day on Friday, but by the time we get to Saturday, you can see here we're starting to turn the corner here with the 40s predominating, the predominant temperature pattern on Saturday, and then finally by Sunday afternoon we're all the way up to 60 degrees. Indeed, it looks like a significant warm-up begins this weekend and really intensifies for the Sunday, Monday, Tuesday time frame in the I-95 corridor region. However, as was the case with this week's warm-up, there certainly will be some showers to deal with during the early next week warm-up as well. Well, let's take a look at the vorticity field. This is the rotation area in the upper part of the atmosphere. And as we begin the day here on Wednesday, again, using the 0Z run of the GFS, we'll just quickly push it along here over the next 12 hours or so. This is by this evening. Here is a very impressive upper level support system for the lower level surface cold front. A very powerful surface cold front with a lot of vorticity in the upper part of the atmosphere. This is by the early evening, and then it sweeps off the eastern seaboard by tomorrow morning, and that cold air has certainly arrived probably by midnight in most of the I-95 corridor region. Will experience temperatures some 30 degrees lower than the afternoon highs of today. In terms of those 850 millibar temperature anomalies, look at this, starting off the morning, way above normal for this time of the year. 54, 55 degrees right now in Philadelphia, for example, is higher than the average high temperature for this time of the year. And here we go. Here's the separation of that very cold air relative to normal. To the west of the surface cold front, and very warm air relative to normal to the east. This is by midday today, and then we go into the early evening hours, and that front is sliding across into the I-95 corridor region. Again, the wildest weather probably coming in that 3 to 9 p.m. time zone for D.C., Philadelphia, New York City, and then by late tonight, this is shortly after midnight, that cold air is in place. There is a chance, by the way, that the rain showers change briefly to snow showers in some parts of the I-95 corridor region. Certainly interior sections of, let's say, Pennsylvania and New York will experience a change over to snow. Do not expect much snow. If it does happen, it will be for a brief time. Here we go. By Thursday morning, very chilly air mass for this time of the year throughout the mid-Atlantic Northeast U.S. But again, it's rather short-lived. By the latter part of the weekend, we'll be back to 60 degrees in the I-95 corridor region. Well, I wanted to show the 850 millibar winds here, just to kind of make a point here that this threat for high winds, not only in the immediate I-95 corridor region, but it really extends all the way to the coast later this afternoon into the nighttime hours. There could be gusts anywhere in this area, 55, even 60 miles per hour. These are the 850 millibar winds as we begin the day here on Wednesday morning. Now, let's just move through midday, afternoon, and early evening. And this is what I want to point out. Very strong winds near the coast at 7 o'clock tonight. This is just behind that frontal system. By this time, the front should be just off the coast. And in those few hours immediately behind the frontal passage, there can be some strong wind gusts, maybe potentially damaging wind gusts, 50, 55, maybe even 60 miles an hour. I just wanted to highlight that threat for those potentially damaging wind gusts extends all the way to coastal New Jersey, coastal part of Delmarva, and up along the New England coast as well. We'll go out a little farther in time and things settle down overnight. And certainly Thursday will be windy, but not like the winds that we'll experience this afternoon, this evening, into the overnight hours. Probably 30 mile per hour wind gusts on Thursday in the D.C., Philadelphia, New York City corridor. Well, let's wrap up with the surface forecast maps. Any shower today in the Mid-Atlantic region can be briefly heavy. Showers can pop up at any time on radar. There's kind of a break in the action right now in the immediate I-95 corridor region, but that could fill in at any time. Heavier rain, as we saw up front in the radar, out across western PA, Ohio, West Virginia, and we'll just move quickly through. Here is the midday forecast map on the GFS, and here we go by 7 o'clock tonight. The frontal system, this particular forecast map is right in this region right here. And remember, this is that time period where the winds can be gusting 55, 60 miles per hour, even to the coast. So be on the lookout for that. And again, there can be a brief changeover to snow in parts of the Mid-Atlantic region, certainly the interior, but even into the I-95 corridor region. Do not expect accumulating snow, but it is something that could happen. The winds remain strong, probably into the wee hours of the morning. They slacking off a little bit towards daybreak, and on on Thursday, it remains windy, but nothing like what we'll get later this afternoon and evening. Let's go out a little farther in time, and here we go by Thursday morning. Watch out for some snow bands to form just downstream of Lake Erie, Lake Ontario, that could extend all the way into central New York State, maybe even eastern New York State, and certainly into central part of Pennsylvania. Watch out for some snow bands, and some of these look awfully impressive upstate New York for the day on Thursday. So a powerful cold front headed right towards the I-95 corridor region. Should be some wild weather. D.C., Philadelphia, New York City, and surrounding areas, let's say roughly 3 p.m. to 9 or 10 p.m. tonight. That's it for now. For ArcfieldWeather.com, this has been meteorologist Paul Dorian.